Hi everyone, welcome back to Be Rich. It's me alone recording this video because Anand and me are currently en route to Dubai to meet you guys there. We have an event happening on the 3rd and 4th, I think, Abu Dhabi and Dubai. So those of you who are interested in meeting me and Anand, reach out to me on Instagram and my team in Dubai will try and arrange it such that you can either meet us in Abu Dhabi or Dubai. That said, I did have something which I wanted to talk about, which was what's happening with AstraZeneca. Yes, the shutdown is looming. I do not know at this time of recording the shutdown is still on. I do not know if Trump has managed to strong arm the Democrats or the Democrats have managed to push back the conservatives, but it hangs where it hangs. And the way that you see the gold price moving, it's going to be more painful. Before this whole shutdown shenanigan was happening, like I said in the previous video, gold was already zooming. Now this is adding more nitro jet fuel to that fire and it's taken off. And if you are, planning to get married or you are planning to invest in some gold for some personal need in the next year, I would say you should be prudent to buy it ahead now and not wait to buy it later. Even if you remotely are planning to get married, it's not there on the cards right now, but maybe next year end you plan to propose, I would suggest that you strongly do it now. Invest in the gold now because it's going to save you a hell of a lot of money if you wait too long. But anyway, that said, what is happening with AstraZeneca? Well, it's UK's largest drug manufacturer, the second biggest FTSE 100 constitutes, and it's planning to shift from ADRs, the way it's being bought and sold in the American market, to a direct, listing in the New York Stock Exchange. It's not leaving London, but it's doing a half move towards the US, giving equal footing to both sides. And it's the two largest markets, and I can understand this. Why is AstraZeneca doing this? Because they feel US is their core market, which constitutes about 42% of their revenue, and they expect that to reach to 50% by 2030. So there's a greater investor pool in the US because the American market is the world's largest market, and direct listing would allow access for domestic and institutional investors and retail investors who may have restrictions when it comes to ADRs. Of course, me and Anand don't have any restrictions and we say buy Japanese stocks through ADR. A lot of you have reached out and said, why in US and ADR, why not in Japan? That's another whole video which I can do, why we talk about ADRs only in the US. But anyway, getting back to the point, AstraZeneca was being sold as ADRs, which would lead to a lot of restrictions for certain investment houses. This would unlock that and create more liquidity. Valuation will come into play. While London does offer a very strong base, a long history, a deeper liquidity, but the investors seem to be having a huge appetite in the US, and the same way how Toyota is being quoted by investment banks to enter Indian market and launch an Indian IPO to unlock value in India. Same way the AstraZeneca has been quoted to enter American market, and they seem to have decided to bite the bullet, and they're going to be listing in the New York Stock Exchange. So this also gives political signal to Trump saying we bow down to your pressure. The pharmaceutical companies are under enormous pressure. We spoke about Pfizer and how Pfizer has decided to strike a deal. We do not know the details of it, but next couple of years at least, pharmaceutical companies are going to be punished unless they are willing to comply to what he is requesting. My brother did talk about Trump RX, which means he's prescribing medicines now. He wants to attach his name to everything, including Trump Towers, Trump Beef, Trump University. Now we have Trump Medicine too, I guess. But anyway, jokes aside, this signals that they're trying to placate the Americans, especially Trump. This is what this seems. But this is a symbolic blow for London and the London Stock Exchange, because this company is a big company in the United Kingdom, and it's still anchored, and its headquarters is still in Cambridge, and its primary listing is still in the UK with UK regulatory oversight. But this unlocking value, investor sentiment, I do not know how far of it is true and how much of it will actually happen for AstraZeneca, because there is a couple of things which are the blind spots for AstraZeneca as far as this is concerned. One, there is no guarantee that this listing is going to unlock valuation boost. It's not meaning traders are going to run after AstraZeneca pushing it, and without inclusion into the S&P 500, it does not really benefit. Its value can just move marginally, and this whole other issue. Once you enter that market, you require those regulations and compliances. So all that overhangs over AstraZeneca, meaning governance changes might be required, board restructuring might be required. So we'll have to see this. This increases cost and complexity. And is there an obvious payback? I can't see it. So this is what is happening as far as AstraZeneca is concerned. So I really don't see what this is going to lead in terms of value for investors. Yes, it is going to give an option to buy AstraZeneca stock directly and not ADRs. I am not really against ADRs, and I think ADRs are as good as buying directly the company stock. Yes, voting rights and all that. That aside, if purely looking at in terms of value investing, small retail investors like us, I would say ADR, non-ADR really doesn't make a difference to us. So this is something interesting, and this goes again to what Anand was saying, how UK is under enormous pressure, the Labour government. The Prime Minister is having one of the lowest ratings for any Prime Minister for a very long time, and unless reforms are pushed through and the pain is accepted by the British population, there is going to be some more this kind of activity happening from corporate sector. You've already seen the rich ship out of UK because of the taxes being forced on them. Same way the corporates may also be finding the pinch too much, and they may also be looking at an exit from the United Kingdom. This begs a lot of question, what is happening in the UK and what can be done. In the short term, there is a lot of pain. In the long term, like my brother said, the UK is not going to go to the IMF. He doesn't feel it will go to the IMF. There will be a lot of pain which they'll finally have to learn to accept. How this will happen and how will this transpire is something that we'll have to wait and watch. Like I said in the onset of the video, gold is on a runaway, steam runaway, and you're going to see gold rising further and further as it goes, because this uncertainty is really getting to levels which we've never seen before. I don't think there's a time in the recent past where we have had this much of global geopolitical tension with added macroeconomic craziness and just generally mood in the market being this. But that all said, you don't see the market correcting, you don't see the market panicking. If anything, it seems to be living in its own alternate universe. Maybe this is all AI, and AI is steaming this ahead is something, maybe it's there. Maybe people are feeling so insecure and they have this thing that they're going to miss the AI boat. They don't know what else to do, so they're just doubling down and hoping for the best. Maybe that is happening there too. But as value investors, we should always look at opportunities and be calculative in what we understand, stay within our circle of competence and invest wisely. So that said, there is a form which I've put up on Instagram. If you are interested in getting in touch with me or my team or Anand and talking about American and Japanese stocks and investment opportunities there, do fill out that form, and we'll try and get you sorted out and helped. So thanks for being with me today on Be Rich. I hope you had a wonderful day today and you had a wonderful evening. Me and Anand will be doing this from Dubai for the next few days, so you can enjoy that. Maybe some Dubai weather and some Dubai sites would be added in the mix as we record from there. Thanks for being with me, Be Rich, today once again. See you tomorrow. Thank you.